Hey guys, it's Christine from Indigo Wings Healing. I'm here with the weekly Twin Flame video. This is going to cover the week of January 23rd through the 29th. I know that I'm not at my usual place at my desk. Our family's been battling a cold this week, and so I was not feeling like I wanted to be on a video today, so I have this set up going on, but this will work. And I'm gonna try to go kind of fast, just because I am still feeling a little under the weather, so I don't want to use up all of my energy doing this reading and the video right now. So as you guys know, this side is the feminine energy. This is the divine masculine energy. I do want to point out, I just get the messages that I get, and I get what comes through me. So take what resonates. If this message does not resonate with you, that's okay. Move on. If it does resonate with you, great. Sometimes I may get a message that only resonates with a few people, and that's okay. I do my best to, make sure that I am asking for a message that will relate to as many people as possible. But again, I just do what comes through. So with that, I'm going to get started. I want to point out the first card that's at the bottom of the deck here. And this was the Nurture card. And again, I love that 3 is there. The connection, the harmony. And I feel like that is that reminder again to, that we need to be nurturing that spiritual connection and really nurturing ourselves, and that's the feminine and the masculine right now. I think we're in a time where we really need to be focusing on what's best for ourselves right now and on our own growth. I'm not saying not to care, or anything like that about your twin, but really, nurture yourself. So at the beginning of the week, we have for the feminine flow. And, I feel like with this card, it's, we do want to be in a place where we are just going with the flow of things. We're not fighting things. We are in a place where we, don't have expectation. And, we just go with the flow. But in some ways, the message that I'm getting with this card is that for some of the feminine, this isn't so much of like a surrender flow. This is an aggravated go with the flow. This is a place of, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to give up, kind of go with the flow. The masculine is not responding to me. They're not talking to me. They're not interacting with me. So I might as well just go with it, kind of flow. If that is you, try to reframe that for yourself if you can, because remember, positive, we want to have positive thoughts and look at things in a positive manner, because that will attract more positive to us. What I am seeing and have been seeing, and we've been talking about it for, I feel like, the entire month so far, is that a lot of feminine who are in separation are feeling this frustration, this aggravation, this desire to give up. And that message of don't give up is still coming in. So just, do what you got to do here. You know, I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but this is where I'm feeling, you know, this is the message I'm getting, that where the feminine are right now. Share the love is what I'm getting at the beginning of the week for the masculine. And again, I like that, you know, we're seeing that 3 again, that 3 with the connection. And, you know, usually this is a card that's about, you know, being in a place where you're spreading the love everywhere. What I'm getting with this card is a little bit of a different message. What I saw immediately when I pulled this card is how there's this heart here and there's a crack in it. And I'm really feeling like the divine masculine is feeling like he wishes he could share the love and share his love with the divine feminine. And I just feel like that's almost like a picture of his heart right now. I don't know, I'm curious if any divine feminine have been feeling any particular pains or anything in their heart center area, because that's just kind of what this card is reminding me of, is like a broken heart center area, or that they're trying to heal their heart center, and that there's just this desire that they wish that they could be sharing their love with their twin. And for whatever the reason right now, it's just not a possibility. So that's really, it's not exactly like the meaning that is in the book, but for those of you who are familiar with card reading, that's not always the message that comes through when you're reading cards. So the next card for the feminine, for the middle of the week, you see she has her hands in the shape of a heart right here. And I feel like the feminine is trying really hard to be centered and to be in her heart. And she's waffling back and forth, having a hard time saying, do I want this or do I want that? Well, I do want that, but I'm really frustrated, so maybe I don't want that. And this back and forth flip-flopping is really, you know, it sends mixed messages to the universe, is what I'm hearing that I need to say. And you need to have, you know, and I know I've talked about this before, you need to have faith and do some, you know, go within, do some meditation, do some energy clearing. You know what it is that you want. Go with it. Try not to fight that. And I think that there are some feminine out there that are fighting it because of some pride, aggravation, not wanting to be hurt. And, you know, but if you really do have that vision or hope that you are going to end up with your twin, the flip-flopping is not going to bring you to that ultimately. So this is saying, you know, you need to choose, basically. And so over here in the masculine for the middle of the week, we have that 3 again. And we have take the lead. And what I'm getting with this is I'm feeling like they are inspired to take a little bit more initiative in making positive changes in their life. It might be taking positive change with their spiritual awakening. It might be enacting positive changes with their health. It might be doing something differently in the current relationship they're in. But this is like, I'm feeling like this is a card of action, and they're feeling moved, like they need to do something. Like, you know, they don't, like, this is making them feel antsy, and they want to do something. And so they're feeling led to take some action to make some improvements on their life. So the end of the week for the feminine, we get the third eye chakra. And I pulled some clarifiers for this because I felt like with the third eye chakra, it was all about what are they not seeing? That was immediately the what I was hearing with this card, is that the feminine is not seeing something here. And so these cards are not cards I've used before in my video readings. These are the Gilded Lenormand cards. And so what these cards are telling me, this is the moon, and this is about love, and it's also about insight. The clover is about luck, and the swans are love. And this is like the Lovers card. This is like a true love. And this is also, swans are a twin symbol. The moon is a 32 number, which goes down to a 5, which is the card of change. But what these cards do when they're together is they tell you a story. And basically what these cards are saying to me is that just because you're not seeing the results that you want doesn't mean they're not happening. And I know that, you know, for a lot of the feminine, you have been patient for a very long time. And some of you feel like you're sick of not seeing the results. But the things that you want to happen are happening behind the scenes. And so, you know, the third eye, it's, you know, those are our psychic insights. Those are the things that, you know, those are our clairs. Those are the things that are not necessarily tangible for all people. You know, we can't touch them necessarily. And that's kind of what this is. And I know that that's frustrating for some of you, but this is a reminder that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's happening. Also, for some of you, this is a reminder that that you may be seeing one thing, and that's not really an accurate depiction of what's actually happening. You know, I'm reminded to tell you right now, what is it? Something like the highlight reel on Facebook. Some of what you may be seeing is a highlight reel. It's not actually what's going on. So it's just something to think about. So for the end of the week, we have for the masculine, we have Rebuild, which is the Tower in traditional tarot. And I just want to point out, this is a 16, which breaks down to a 7. Spiritual path. This is, you know, they're on their spiritual path with this. You know, you have the lightning, breaking the foundation. So something's going on that is shaking up the foundation, and they, you know, something is being worked on, being rebuilt here. I also pulled clarifiers, and we have clouds, house, and the rider. And basically what I'm getting is that there is a lot of confusion going on with the masculine around their home. They have a very confusing, uncomfortable home life right now. Miscommunications, uncomfortable messages, and things are getting worked out there. And I want to point out this card for those of you who, if you are the divine masculine and you're watching this, and I think it's interesting. You've got the lightning in the rebuild card, and you have the lightning striking the tree, the bottom of the tree in this card as well. On this side, it's stormy and it's dark, but on this side, the sun is out and it's shining. So if you are the divine masculine and you're watching this, things may be stormy and confusing and chaotic right now, but the sun's coming out and it's going to get better. So where this is all going, I feel like, let's see, where do I want to go? I'm going to go with this. So this is great. We have where they are both headed, the crowning energy, dreams coming true. But in order for dreams coming true, some things are going to have to change. Things are going to have to end. 9 is an ending. But the message that's coming clearer to me about the dreams coming true is that the masculine and the feminine need to get out of their head. The clarification cards I pulled 2 air cards, and to me it's, quit thinking about the negative stuff. Get out of your head. Stop thinking that everything is so bad. You don't know what's going on. Give the universe, your angels, your guides, give it all a chance to work out. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. Get out of your head. And literally this card says open your heart and mind. And literally that's, for your dreams to come true, you need to open your heart and mind to what the possibilities are. And I think that, once you do that, you're going to be amazed at what happens. The grounding energy here for this week is shine. And, this is a really beautiful card. And I think that, for both twins, this card in this particular deck always reminds me of surrender. And I really do think that that is kind of the goal and kind of what both parties are really desiring right now. I think that they're both really desiring this honest surrender, like this, just, they want peace. The woman here, they are just giving it to the universe. They are coming from their heart center. They are sending light and love out to the world. And, I feel like both the feminine and the masculine are underlying, their desire underlying everything is to just breathe and give it all to God. And, this card, 9 plus 1 is a 10, and that's a 1 for new beginnings. And I feel like that's exactly, that's a message right there saying, this is what you need, where they both need to be to get to their new beginnings. The underlying energy for the feminine, seek the truth. And I feel like this is very strongly tied to every card, really, but really the last 2 cards of the week, because she's I feel like this is very representative of being torn between the decision of what she wants to do, and she's really seeking that guidance from the universe. And you know, each side is exactly the same. She knows what to choose. She knows what to do. And that is the underlying energy, is that you know what to do. The universe is showing you the light. You are on your spiritual path. You know the truth. But that's really, you know, the feminine is just, the energy for the feminine is just show me the way. Show me what I need to know. I don't want to say there's like a desperation energy, because that's not quite what I'm feeling, but just this very strong desire to just not feel the way she's been feeling anymore. And so the final card for the masculine, the underlying energy for him this week is coming together, which this card for me in traditional tarot, this reminds me of the Two of Cups, which, you know, I was pleasantly surprised to see this as the underlying energy for the masculine, you know, because to me this says, you know, there's this underlying energy and desire that he wants to come together with the feminine. And I mean, that was what I was talking about a little bit in the beginning of the week, but ultimately this is what is driving them. This is what they're thinking about. I pulled some clarification cards on this. And so the first card is the Mountain. And what I got with that is that, you know, he wants this, but it feels like he's blocked. Every time it seems like he takes a step towards it, he's blocked somehow. And, you know, but she remains his anchor. You know, she's still, you know, he feels attached to her. She's his rock. And this card, this is telling me that there is literally a snake trying to prevent, you know, that's like a snake that is the mountain that is blocking them coming together. And I feel like for many of the masculine, this is a karmic relationship. And that is something that you know, they feel very blocked right now by this karmic relationship and the coming together. So, but even though that's the underlying energy, remember I said there is a lot of confusion in an uncomfortable home, and there's a rebuild and dreams coming true. So for the feminine, it really feels still like there's a lot going on with the masculine that you don't know about and you may not know about. But for those that the message is coming through for, it seems like they still have a lot on their plate. They're doing a lot of growth still, and they have a lot personally that they're dealing with. Feminine, you still also have a lot personally that you're dealing with in terms of your own personal growth. And remember that you've come a really long way. So don't forget to give yourself props for that. Don't forget to engage in self-care and self-love practices. Meditate, detox baths, whatever it is that you do to make yourself feel better. You need to do those things. Remember, nurture yourself. And just remember, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. So that was my reading for the week. I hope that you find it helpful. I'm sorry that I'm not here telling you guys union at the end of the week or anything like that for you, but I just give the messages that come through for me. But I do feel like this is a promising reading because it does look like there's growth, there's heading in the right direction. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of the similar things that I'm hearing from other readers as well. So if you like what you heard, if you resonated with my reading, check me out on my website, indigowingshealing.com. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/indigowingshealing. If you liked my video, I would love it if you hit the like button. I'd love to hear your feedback on the video. And also hit the subscribe button as well so you are notified as soon as I upload another video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.